I have paid off 2 of my mortgages. Well, technically 3 mortgages, but I did have to sell 1 property in order to pay that property off. So I'm not sure if that really counts. I'll let you be the judge. In today's video, you are going to learn the 12 benefits of having a paid off mortgage, so you can decide if you want to do the same. And make sure to stick around until the very end of the video because I'm going to share a few tips on how to pay off your mortgage early, since I was able to pay off my 2 or 3 mortgages early. I am Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and I achieved financial freedom and I became a millionaire. If you are interested in doing one or both of those things, make sure and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and we're going to dive right in. All right, benefit number 1, which I'm sure you can guess, of paying off your mortgage early is not having a mortgage payment anymore. So you are lowering your expenses, which is super awesome because usually a mortgage payment is pretty high. And honestly, that is usually the highest expense that Americans have. 37% of most Americans' budget go toward their housing expense or toward their mortgage payment. That is a really high amount. So when you pay that mortgage off, you are drastically decreasing your expenses. The average mortgage payment is $1,600. Could you imagine if you were to pay that mortgage off and have an extra $1,600 a month? You could do a lot of different things with that money. For me personally, when I paid off my very first mortgage, which was the first property that I had purchased, that put me at traditional FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early. And if you haven't heard of FIRE before, I do have a video about that. I'll leave a link above and below. So before I had paid off that first mortgage, I was at lean FIRE, or lean financial freedom, which means all of my basic expenses were covered and I did have a little bit of a buffer, but paying off that first mortgage decreased my expenses so that I was able to hit traditional financial freedom, or traditional FIRE, which was super exciting. Comment below and tell me if you have heard of the FIRE movement, the Financial Independence Retire Early movement, and if so, where you are on the path to FIRE. And let's move to benefit number 2, which is saving so much money that you would be paying in interest if you were to pay off your mortgage early. Traditionally, people go with a 30-year mortgage, so you are paying quite a bit of interest over that 30-year period. And honestly, the average American pays $169,390 in interest on a mortgage loan throughout a 30-year mortgage. And that is even with a 20% down payment. Honestly, that mortgage amount, that $169,000, is even more than I purchased my first 2 properties for. If we are able to pay off that mortgage early, we are going to save a ton of money that we would be paying in interest. Can you think of a few other things you would rather spend that money on? I know I sure could. The 3rd benefit of paying off your mortgage early is peace of mind. You can actually sleep at night and not worry about having a mortgage to pay off. And you don't have to worry about whether or not you are going to have a place to live. I think that definitely brings peace of mind to most people. You can rest assured that you know the bank will not be taking your property away, unless of course you aren't paying your property taxes, but hopefully you are paying your property taxes. But it's a really calm and great feeling to have, knowing that your mortgage is paid off, that you own that property outright. So no one can take that away from you. No matter what happens in your situation, even if you were to lose your job or lose a significant portion of your income, you wouldn't have to worry about having that mortgage payment. And just to contrast this with renting, if you were renting a place and the landlord decided to sell, you would definitely have to find a new place to live. So it's nice owning your own home and not having to worry about making a mortgage payment. There were 6.5 million homes that were sold in 2020. And it was similar in 2021. And quite a few of those homes were rentals, so people had to find a new place to live. And of course, I do realize there are pros and cons to renting versus owning your own home. But that is just one of the benefits. If your home is paid off, you can have that peace of mind and definitely sleep at night knowing that you are not going to have to move anytime soon. Comment below and tell me if you would sleep better at night knowing your mortgage was paid off. Benefit number 4 of paying off your mortgage is that you now have more money to invest, which is something I am really passionate about, because the more we are investing, then the sooner we are able to become financially free. So if you aren't saving up for your mortgage payment each month, you can actually put that money toward investments and start making even more of your money work for you. And benefit number 5 of having a paid off mortgage is that you can put that amount toward other debt and pay off your debt faster. So if you do have high interest debt, then you may want to take that money that would be going toward your mortgage payment and put that toward your debt so that you can really pay that debt down and pay it off a lot faster. And going along with benefit number 4 of investing your money, if you have lower interest debt, then you can even split that mortgage payment and put some of it toward investing and then some toward debt. It just depends on what works best for your situation. And if you are wondering if you should be paying down debt or investing, I do have a video about that. I'll leave a link above and below. And moving right along to benefit number 6 of having a paid off mortgage is that your taxes are easier to do. Some people actually say not to pay off your mortgage early because you will be missing out on the tax deduction for your mortgage interest, all of that interest you're paying on your mortgage. But let me clue you in a little bit on this tax deduction. The amount you would be saving in taxes would be nowhere near the amount you could save in interest if you were to pay off your mortgage early. Mortgage interest deductions are typically below the standard deductions that all taxpayers are eligible for. This means that unless you have a special tax situation or a very expensive mortgage, the maximum tax savings mortgage interest deduction in itself can provide are negligible. So really that tax deduction for your mortgage interest that you're paying doesn't really mean that much unless of course you are in a special situation. And if your mortgage is paid off, then you don't have to wait for that form to come from your lender to give to your accountant or to do your own taxes with. Having a paid off mortgage makes your taxes easier because you don't have to enter in the amount that you paid in mortgage interest and you don't have to wait for that form from your lender. Benefit number 7 of having a paid off mortgage is that you never have to think about refinancing again. You never have to keep your eye on interest rates and call different lenders to see if they have the lowest interest rate and the lowest closing costs. I know for me, since I had 4 different mortgages at one point, I was getting a lot of letters in the mail about different refinancing options. So refinancing was on my mind, especially when interest rates dropped. But having a paid off mortgage means you don't have to think about any of those details about refinancing again. And also if you did refinance and then thinking, oh, maybe I should refinance again. Or even thinking, oh, I should have waited a little longer because the interest rates have dropped even further now. You don't even have to think about refinancing or spend your time on finding the best refinance deal anymore. Benefit number 8 of having a paid off mortgage is the pride of owning your home outright. It's no longer you and the bank that owns your home, it's just you. And that was a pretty cool feeling to have. I know when I paid off my first mortgage, I was super excited. And it just felt good knowing that I owned that property outright. And even when I did it the second time, it still felt really good to do that. And it's not that I'm going around bragging that I own my home outright, that I own 2 properties outright, but I did share that with just a few people that are close to me. And of course on my YouTube channel, but actually, a lot of my friends, I don't think they watch my YouTube videos. And I definitely did tell my parents and they were super happy for me. It's just nice having that feeling, knowing that you own your home outright. Benefit number 9 of having a paid off mortgage is that your net worth goes up. You're probably getting rid of quite a significant amount of debt, so your net worth will rise, which is always great to see. I know for me, as soon as I paid off my mortgage and I knew that it went through, I checked Personal Capital, which is a free app that I use. I'll leave a referral link below if you're interested. But I checked that and I saw that my net worth had gone up, that the entire mortgage was paid off. So that is pretty exciting to actually see that your net worth has gone up so much. Benefit number 10 of having a paid off mortgage is that you are able to give back more or spend more freely. Since you are not making that mortgage payment anymore, which is a significant amount of our budget, you're able to give or to donate your money to things or people that are important to you, which is always a great feeling. And also, if you wanted to, you could even let someone stay in your home and give that way. I know for me, sometimes when I am focused on a financial goal, I just really want to achieve that goal. So I'm putting any extra money that I have toward achieving that goal. And sometimes I may forget to give to others. And of course, I'm not talking about tithing because I definitely do that first, but just having that extra income by not having a mortgage payment, that means you are more secure with your finances, so you're able to help others more. Benefit number 11 of having a paid off mortgage is that you have more job flexibility. flexibility. If you are not happy at your job, then you may be able to work there for another 6 months or so and save up some money, especially what you were paying toward your mortgage. And then you can start to look for another job that you would be happier at, but may not pay as much as your current job. Or even if you are working for yourself and you may feel pressure to work with clients that aren't really aligned with you, that you don't really want to be working with. But once you have that mortgage paid off, then you may feel like you don't really have to work with certain people if that's not what you want to do. You really wouldn't feel strapped for cash. So having a paid off mortgage gives you that job flexibility. And the last benefit number 12 of having a paid off mortgage is that your credit score will increase. When a large debt amount gets removed from your credit score will definitely increase because it's lowering your debt to income ratio. You now have less debt compared to the income that you have. So that is going to push your credit score up. So this also gives you more flexibility if you wanted to apply for a credit card or another credit card. And of course, we want to be smart when we are applying for credit cards. Make sure we are paying them off in full every single month so that we are not paying any interest. Or it could give you the flexibility to take out a home equity line of credit, a HELOC on your property, and get a better interest rate for it. And of course, I'm not saying that you have to use that HELOC, but it could just be there for emergencies. When you have a higher credit score and you apply for different loans or credit cards, then you are going to get a better interest rate on those loans or credit cards. And just to give you an example, let's say you were making $70,000 per year and you have $2,400 in your debt payments each month, then your debt to income ratio, your DTI, would be 42%. But let's say your mortgage payment was half of that amount, it was $1,200, so now your debts are only $1,200 a month, then that would make your debt to income ratio only 21%. So it drastically reduces your debt to income ratio, which is going to push that credit score up. And for me personally, when I paid off those last 2 mortgages, so including the property that I sold, my credit score increased by 13 points. So that is a pretty good jump in your credit score when you are paying off your mortgage. And now after sharing all of these benefits, it may not be the best scenario for you to pay off your mortgage in full or even pay off that mortgage early. You may want to invest that extra amount you would be putting toward your mortgage. And I actually did a video about this, whether or not you should pay off your mortgage early or invest that money. So I will leave a link above and below in the description. You can check that out later on. But I thought it would be fun to share all of these benefits of having a paid off mortgage. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, here are just a few tips to helping you pay off your mortgage even faster. One of the tips that I want to share is adding an extra mortgage payment each year. So you can add this onto your monthly mortgage payment, and it will help you pay off your mortgage a lot sooner. It could even be 6 to 7 years sooner. And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, let's say your mortgage payment is $1,200 a month. So if you divide $1,200 by 12, you'll get $100. So you'd want to add an extra $100 to your mortgage payment each month. So you would pay $1,300 a month instead of $1,200 a month. And that is going to help you pay off your mortgage a lot sooner. And if you can't make that full extra payment every year, then you can at least do a little bit extra every month. Even adding an extra $5 could knock off 2 years of your mortgage. So if your mortgage payment is something like $14.92 and 67 cents, then you could just round that up to $1,500 and just pay a few extra dollars every month. And that is still going to help you pay off your mortgage early. And also, if you have other debts that you are paying off over time and you actually pay off one of those debts in full, then you can put that amount you were paying toward that debt to your mortgage. And that way you aren't adding an extra payment because you were already making that payment to a different debt. So if you had a school loan and you were paying $300 a month toward that school loan, and then you finally paid that school loan off, you could put that extra $300 a month toward your mortgage payment. And if you receive a bonus at work, you can definitely take that full bonus and just pay down your mortgage. And if you are going to do that, make sure you plan ahead and know that is what you are going to do, so you don't start thinking of other things you can buy with your bonus. So those are just a few tips on how to pay off your mortgage even sooner. Comment below and tell me if you've already paid off your mortgage or if you are going to pay off your mortgage early. I am curious to know. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information, and hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more content from me, check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.